The series. Ow! Shit. Ow! Where the f is it?
Mehdi is that the right way to pronounce that name? Mehdi.
It's Mehdi, yeah. It's not Mahdi, it's Mehdi.
Mehdi. All right, we got to do that.
Yes, that's it.
You know, it's a.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if I noticed that for English-speaking people, it's very hard to pronounce that H part. Sometimes they say Mehdi. It's not Mehdi. It's Mehdi.
Just like hummus, hummus. It's hummus. You do it from here, and they do it from.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
So.
It's like hospital, right? Yeah. I mean, like if you sigh, people know how to sigh, right? Just say Mehdi, then it's movie.
We can go all day on how people pronounce our names. Like mine is
how to pronounce my name properly.
That's a video in itself. Like how do you properly pronounce my name? But yeah. All right. So in today's episode of the Didn't Really Name It podcast, this is for our season 3 at this point, and it's a new setup. It's a new journey, a new set of diverse set of creators that we have on the podcast. And I'm starting with Mehdi from the Mehdi Electroboom YouTube channel. Oh my. I'm privileged. I'm happy. So, in this podcast, we're going to have a conversation about the story of Mehdi's YouTube journey and how he started out his YouTube channel. And the main intention behind the podcast is to help out newbie creators in the space figuring out their creative self. What kind of niche do you want to make content in? Do you want to make content while skateboarding? Do you want to make content while electrocuting yourself? You have an example here. We've got people from all different niches teaching you how to do stuff. Like Mehdi teaches electrical engineering concepts using a different kind of approach that you do not see your professors do. I wish my electrical engineering professor did that. What you did, it probably would have been more entertaining. I could have learned more.
I mean, hopefully they would survive in the classroom.
hopefully. But yeah. All right, it's 2007. Steve Jobs just unveiled the new iPhone. Now, Mehdi, a question to you I have is, why did you start creating content on your YouTube channel? Why, in the first place, you went like, you know what? I'm going to make a YouTube channel. That too in 2007. I want to know everything about it. Yeah.
My first video was on 2012, the one that is about electrostatic discharge. I'm using an electrostatic discharge gun to, show people how it works and how you can get hurt in the process. But basically, before that, I always wanted to, somehow share my knowledge, whatever I knew online. Before making the videos, I made a website and shared my information there, but it became boring quickly, and I was competing with Wikipedia, so I gave up on that. And then when YouTube came along, I noticed some of my friends were making this like informative videos, and I thought, hey, that's not a bad idea, but I didn't do it until I got my hands on this electrostatic discharge gun, and I thought, hey, that's interesting to do a video on that, and I just made it for my friends really, and I shared it at work and my friends, and it was sitting there for 6 months with like 100 views, and I had like 10 subscribers, which were like 2 of my parents and my in-laws probably, and my wife. And then after 6 months, somebody posted my first video on Reddit, and it became popular there, and all of a sudden I started growing quickly, and I kept going.
Wow.
And it is fun. It was fun, just interacting with people. Like my personality enjoys interacting with people, getting feedback from what I created. That's basically creative work is like that. When you're any sort of creative, what you do is that you create something and present it to people, and you enjoy the feedback and what you provided that somehow helped the viewer. It might be information, entertainment, or whatever it may be. You get a good vibe from it that keeps you going.
Wow, that is so awesome. So initially now we're talking about 100 views at that video and how long was it stuck on that? at the 100 view counter. You probably remember.
Yeah, I
for
think
the
it was,
first time.
yeah, like I think I made it on April 2012, if I'm not wrong, and then sometime in January 2013 it was picked up by Reddit.
Wow.
So it was a long time
Thank you,
before
Reddit.
that, yeah. Yeah, thank you. So
Alright.
that teaches you how to, like if you want to, just don't make a content and put it in somewhere that people may not find it. You have to find ways to promote it as well, right?
Yeah. So having a bachelor's of applied science and a master's in applied science. So you are now an electrical engineer because of that. My question is, if you weren't an electrical engineer, let's go into that weird scenario where you aren't an electrical engineer. Will you still be creating content for the niche that you're trying to, make content for today?
Yeah, well, I mean, like the first thing I was a tinkerer, basically. Like I remember when I was growing up, I would tear things apart and try to figure out how they worked and stuff. So that was the first thing I was trying to figure out and troubleshoot how things work. And then, like as I was growing up, I was also exploring my creativity in different areas. Like for example, I would enjoy making videos even before YouTube. Like every time somebody would travel to our house or we traveled somewhere else, I would film it and edit it to make it interesting for the viewers, which were my family basically, right? So both these aspects of making content for YouTube, I already kind of had it in me. I was enjoying both of them. So I basically was a tinkerer, some sort of engineer beforehand, and I was a content creator for my family before. So I just put them together and made it for YouTube. If I wasn't an electrical engineer, I would be a different person, I guess. I would be still an engineer probably because, like I enjoy mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, all sort of engineering. When I was going to university, there is this countrywide exam that you have to take and you pick your priorities, which university and what you want to study, right?
Yeah.
And based on the score you get, they rank you and you say, okay, you can go to this one, right? And like my 5-6 first choices were electronics in different universities, then mechanical engineering, then I don't know, civil engineering, then chemistry, and going down based on my interests, right?
Yeah.
So I would be some sort of engineer, and if I didn't want to be an engineer, I would be a different person. So we can't really answer that. Maybe I would be a doctor. Maybe I didn't enjoy making videos,
But you were always a tinkerer. You were always a person who, even way back before YouTube, just take some piece of content, edit it, and used to love the idea of presenting that in front of anyone, really, like
yeah,
family,
and not just videos, like anything, like that's the encouragement you get from your work, basically. Even at my day job, I was designing. It wasn't like videos, but when I was making a good design that people found it interesting, or I wouldn't like just copy paste designs. I would try to think for a design, like design it from ground up, like think like from the beginning, making something creative, something new, basically, like some new circuit that nobody had seen at work. Hey, this is interesting. Does it actually work? And it would actually make some people nervous because like when you're in a day job and you want to make a product, you want to make sure you make something that is proven working. And like when I was coming up with new ideas, they were like, forget about that, let's just stick with that.
So this was like an outlet for you, right? I'm sorry to interrupt you there. Is this like an outlet?
No, that's yeah, exactly. Like now that I'm making content for YouTube, basically I'm doing electronics and designing what I want for my own content. I don't have to limit myself to standards and limitations and such.
The goal is just not to die. That's it.
Exactly. As long as I survive, which I hope I'm good at that, hopefully.
God
so
willing,
far
I'm
I was
praying
fine,
for you.
yes. Yeah, thank you.
So Oh, this next question. This is a question that I've asked to a different variety of creators, and I've interviewed guests from all different types of subscriber amounts. Thousands to millions. I had the opportunity and the privilege to get a chance to interview people like that. You personally have 6.59 million subscribers. That sounds like a very big number. So I have two questions related to that. Question A, why do you still have a laptop that is plugged in and when it's plugged out it dies?
You have 6 million subscribers and you make your videos on this laptop? It's oozing goo and the power adapter looks like a fire hazard.
Don't unplug it, the battery's dead. Oh, you shut down the computer now.
How do you stay grounded in this realm where you have so many subscribers? How do you stay grounded and why do you have that laptop?
Well, I always have this grounding wire with me. I usually have it on my wrist.
Yeah.
That keeps me grounded, so I don't pick up too much charge.
I walked into that one, right? I walked into that one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, well, I had a laptop. I still have it, but I don't know if you know that Linus from Linus Tech Tips came over and pretty much upgraded my setup. So I still have the laptop there. But yeah, I mean, I was working on that for 7 years and I dropped it. It had a touch screen. I dropped it. The touch screen broke. It was oozing some liquid from the display, which was the first for me. Like, I didn't know displays have
Liquids.
oozing liquids. Well, I mean, the LCD, I suppose, would have some sort of liquid in it. But yeah, I don't know. It's
in the
interesting.
name.
The display was fine.
It's in the name, liquid.
The liquid crystal display. But I didn't break that part though. I broke the touch screen, and the touch screen had liquid in it, and it's so sticky, the damn thing. I have to clean it every time with some alcohol.
So yeah, staying grounded.
But
how do you do
yeah,
that?
that's
apart from that.
the grounding part.
Yeah, apart from that.
Sorry, apart you're talking about the grounding part now, or?
I'm talking about the grounding part.
Oh yeah, the grounding part. How do you ground yourself? Well, I mean, I guess depends. Like if you start too young and it goes into your head,
That's what.
it might be a problem.
Yeah.
One of the things perhaps is because I started when I was a little bit older. I'm 46 now, so I started at around 34, I assume. 33, 34. So I was a little bit older.
So I'm early.
And then
I'm early. I'm 24, so I'm early.
Yeah, if you became famous, don't let it go into your head, okay? And well, I mean, my growth was gradual, so I grew with it. It's like it didn't came all of a sudden, and I slowly got used to the concept, and I still I still don't feel like I'm like it's like, I mean, probably some people have seen my room. It's like a 10 foot by 10 foot room. I'm doing everything in like a 10 foot by 10 foot room. I just have a camera in front of me and I do some stupid stuff in front of the camera, right?
Yeah.
And make videos. My luck is that people find it interesting, and it's not like I'm doing anything special, right?
Yeah.
It's just making a video. I'm editing. Like a lot of people do harder work than me, so I don't feel like I'm doing like I know watching a lot of people on YouTube. I know a lot of them know more than me, and they do much greater stuff. So I don't know. I don't feel like I'm any special or more special than anyone else. I'm just lucky that people find my content interesting and they follow me, but that number doesn't really mean much to me. It's like I know myself.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm above anyone else.
That's awesome because we got the opportunity to meet a lot of creators in CES. We met in CES. We bumped into each other in CES, and I was like fangirling over you. Oh my God, that's Mehdi! Oh no! My friend is like, wait a minute. Do you mean the Mehdi, the guy who can sell a computer? Yeah. So we're just having a conversation, and we approach you. We still don't believe it's you, so we're asking you. are you Mehdi? And you're like, yes, yes. You know, I was like, can I take a photo with you? And the way you handled us, it was so. I like meeting a lot of creators that they have a personality on camera and off camera. Most of them, they have an amazing on and off, and I felt like you were like it felt a really natural conversation then. So we just had a lot of fun. I just want to say thank you again for that photo, though. Just thank you.
No problem.
And
I mean,
love the way how
it's-
accommodating
I-
you are. You can go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm just doing my job. I enjoy what I'm doing. I don't feel like I'm any different than anyone else who's doing their job.
Yeah.
And I felt the same with a whole lot of people that are doing similar creative
Yeah.
work like me. You know, I'm friends with a ton of other YouTubers that teach engineering, or like Mark Rober or Veritasium, or these people. I've met them all in person, and they're all nice people. I think maybe it's an inherent thing with the creative people.
Yeah. That's good.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's like all the friends I have, they are nice, grounded people. So I don't know. That's good. Maybe it's something about YouTube.
Maybe. How was Linus like? I mean, you've collaborated with him like thrice at this point, I guess. 3 times?
Yeah. Like Linus is like he's a very nice guy. He's like very cool and funny and approachable.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, he's running this huge company,
Yeah.
right? So he's like 100 people almost working for him, and so he's very busy.
Yeah.
He's always very focused on what he's trying to do. So when he's working, so he's just running around, putting things together, and at the same time trying to think about, because his videos. Except for the sponsor part,
Yeah.
I guess. his videos are not really scripted.
Yeah.
So when he's trying to put something together, like he's just going with the flow, and at the same time he's trying to think about how to make his videos
Yeah.
interesting. So he's very focused, and he's very good at that. And like he has 100 employees, so he's very good at managing people too. And he was very successful. Expanding his business into many different aspects. He has like six channels, and and he's making his own products. He has designers in house that design all these sort of different products that he sells. So I think, he's different than me. I can definitely not do that. But yeah, he's great from that point of view. But at the same time, I like interacting with him in a personal level. I feel like he's very approachable and nice person.
Prior to this, you never built a personal computer for yourself?
I built. I mean, I think the last time I touched internals, I can't. The thing is that building a computer is different than repairing.
Yeah,
I
it
guess.
is different.
Like I always had laptops, and I always had to open them up and fix something in them. But in terms of building, I think the last time I put something together was like, I don't know, 30 years ago.
30. Okay.
For my first computers, I had I mean, it's like, you don't remember these
Probably.
processor names.
Pentium?
But they were Intel. Nah, way before that. It was 386. Like it was 286. It was like, that's the numbers. 286, 386, 486, and I think the one after was Pentium. I think instead of 586, they went to Pentium, and then from there forward. But yeah, I mean, those first ones, I would just buy like I don't know, 100 kilobyte RAM and add it to my memory.
Like the good old days of kilobytes.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
Yeah,
phones
good old
have
days.
12 gigs.
Yeah, exactly. Like, back then, I used to like put some stuff together back then, but then I didn't bother anymore.
Wow.
I would still, add, I had to add hard disk drives into my computer. I touch them. I don't build them from ground up. I, add stuff to it or repair it mainly.
That's good. I
Especially with the laptops, the display cable always breaks, so you have to take that cable out and put a new cable in. So
I mean, I think you have more of an experience in tinkering and fixing laptops And you used to build computers when you built your first computer, in that sense.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
a good way.
But now that Linus came by, I got to put some boards together with his supervision. Everything's changed so much. Yeah.
You know,
Everything he was saying was going right above my head. I wouldn't understand half
the
of
elf
it.
came in and delivered it to you. I'm sorry, Linus.
Yeah, he delivered. Yes.
We used to build computers for like a living when I was 18. So that's like, at this point, 6 years ago. Time is flying by. So we used to build up computers. And when I was 13, I learned to make computers. And at that time, Linus was the one making videos. So it's just absurd to,
Right.
it's just awesome to see his growth. And it just feels so awesome to see him. At one point, I was coming to Canada just so I could get the opportunity to work with him in Vancouver. But
Oh, yeah?
things changed. I had to take a decision to come here, and I'm in Texas now. So yeah, that's the different.
Ah, okay. Much
Oh,
warmer.
yeah, the weather is much warmer. But hey, I'm coming from Saudi and India, so it's good for me. It's
Yeah, you're used to that, I guess.
50
Yes.
degrees Celsius. I'm gonna say Celsius because I'm new here. So Celsius is nothing.
Ah,
It's
nice.
nothing for me. So yeah. Yeah, I just want to say again, thank you for being just a lot of accommodating at CES. It was so awesome to meet you, and I will see you next year too, right? On CES, hopefully.
Wow, I see. If I like it. This time I went to CS, I was able to only see. Well, I made a few mistakes too. Well, I registered as media basically, so I thought if I only come for media days, which are 2 days before the main event, I would be able to see everything. But apparently not. The main event, which is all these exhibitions, would start after the 2 days. so I had to extend my stay basically for one more day, which was not enough to see the event. Like the sheer size of the exhibitions and like all these event centers is so huge. I was probably able to see like less than a third of it, and I was just running through the hallways trying to see stuff.
Yeah, we dedicated the same time. And I'm sorry, you can go on. I keep interrupting. I'm sorry. It's been a long time, guys. I haven't recorded a podcast in a long
That's
time.
okay.
Let's say, yeah, go on. We can pick up later.
No, I was saying that I didn't expect it to be so huge, and my goal being in CS was to try and see everything and learn about new technologies and ideas and how they can help me create content and such. And because it was so large and I was running through it and it was so diverse, everything, all the projects, all the products, I don't think it was helpful to me so much. I think if you go to CES, you have to, figure out what you want to see and just go see that first, because the 4 days probably is not enough to see it anyways. And then if you have time, then maybe you have some extra time, then you go around and see everything else. But
In the media days, I think
it was huge.
I only went for Sony's media day. They gave us access for some reason, and it was the only thing that was
Right.
open. We were trying to go inside and see in the main booths, but they weren't allowing us to go inside. They're like, you have to come in tomorrow. And one day, we had to extend our stay just like you. And one day, we have to see everything
Right.
that CES had. Our legs were probably cursing us,
Yeah.
but and at the end of the day, they were like only 5 to 10 things that I remember being, oh yes, that is so awesome. Because a lot of it was, all right, AI, blockchain, electric cars, AI, blockchain. I mean, that was the pattern everywhere. But then there were some little things.
Yeah. AI was the big theme. Yeah.
Everywhere. AI and electrical vehicles, everywhere. I don't know. I mean, I get the obsession, but I like that. I like creative AI solutions because, hell, I'm a computer science engineer. I have to invest my time into AI.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Oh, my.
That's interesting. Like all these complex stuff going around in CES, but for me, the simplest creative ideas were most interesting. Like you have something that you fold into something that helps you in a way that made me way more interested than all these complex AI controlling things in a better way. Because I don't know how to create AI. I can't wrap my hand around that. But simple stuff, simple creative stuff, especially that's how my videos are generally, right? I don't keep my videos too complicated. So these type of stuff interest me more than, a lot of complex stuff.
All right, now we're going to be asking you some quick questions. Weirdest invention that you made and you are proud of.
Weirdest invention I made. What did I make? Well, I made my magic wand. Where is it? Which is nice. I can shock people with it. So yeah,
Awesome.
that makes like over 100,000 volts. But the one that I really like is this one. This is my what do you call it? The firefly lantern. So when you turn it on, there is. Oh, it started recording now.
No, we're not an issue. You can go on.
Okay. So. Do you want me to start?
No issue. You can go on.
Okay, good. So yeah, basically this firefly lantern, there are these things inside that fly in there and start glowing, and it's like you're having one of these magical firefly lanterns that you can carry around,
Awesome.
and it's beautiful. I like this one. I'm proud of
Okay.
the time I put on this to make it proper.
Awesome. So you're gonna put that one as the weirdest and the one that you are more proud of. So
Yes.
do you still have the electric guitar, the legendary electric guitar?
Oh no, I think I disassembled that right away after I finished the video. Because I didn't want someone to accidentally plug it into the wall and kill themselves.
Man, you were a rock star at the end of the video, though. You said it right.
yeah, I was something.
All right. All right. So the podcast is focused upon helping out creators, right? So the last two questions are focused just upon that.
Sure.
So the question I'm going to ask you is, what mistakes do you think newbie creators make when they first start uploading content on the channel? So what do you think they usually give up after some time? Why do you think that? What mistakes do you think they make?
I think, the main problem when you start to create something is that you don't know your path, what you want to exactly do. That's one thing. And the other thing is that a lot of people, see other creators like me on YouTube or, the other people that grew much even faster, and they say, hey, I want to be like, they want money and fame, for example.
Yeah.
And they say, I want that, let's do it. And then they start doing it, and not knowing what is your interest and what's your path and what content you like to make, they fail. Well, the first thing is that you shouldn't think that money and fame comes from something, and so you have to do that. Money and fame, if that's what you want, can come from everything, right? You can be you can be someone that, for example, collects garbage during the weekends, but if you can make that interesting, if that's your passion, if your goal is to make garbage collection better than everyone else and come up with new ideas, you can clean the world, right? You can be famous and rich just doing that, right? So I think the first thing that people have to consider is what is their passion, what they really want to do, what makes their creativity boil, because like making YouTube videos, for example, is a creative work. So you have to be a creative person first, right? You have to enjoy doing that. And if you enjoy doing that, then the next step is presenting your interest, right? That's pretty much everyone is doing on YouTube. Like a lot of us are teaching something, a lot of us are creating something, a lot of us are entertainers. That's what they enjoy in the first place, and that's what they're trying to present in their videos. So basically, videos is a medium to present what you enjoy the most. And when you enjoy something most, you will be much more creative in that. You will enjoy learning things around that, and your passion will show you through your videos, right? And that's what the viewers will enjoy, that you are enjoying what you're doing and you're presenting stuff that is new to them and in an interesting way. So learn what your passion is. Don't focus on just being in front of the camera and thinking that will bring you money and fame. And money and fame is not something you should be focused on. You should be focused on being passionate about something and be creative. And then those are secondary. So don't make that mistake. Everyone that, like all of us that have been successful on YouTube, we started just by trying to be creative and interesting for our friends and families, and that started going and that grew, right? So that's very important.
I was going to ask you what piece of advice would you leave for aspiring creators, but that's an answer in itself. You've answered that question.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Just enjoy being creative. If that's something you enjoy, then do it. If you don't like being creative and you like being something else, that's fine too.
That's awesome. That was amazing insight on that. I know it might feel like I'm rushing to end this podcast, but the thing is, guys, I bought in a very small SD card. Mehdi has been so accommodating, but I sadly have to wrap this up, man. I'm sorry, Mehdi, for all of the things that we went through, but I'm really thankful that you are here.
That's
Thank you
okay.
again.
Yeah, the technical difficulty is always part of the job, so.
Always. And so I think that's how we should wrap it up. I'm thankful to you on coming on the podcast, and I hope again to see you grow more. I want to see more ridiculous content from you. I'm expecting more again and again, and I hope to God you do not die.
Yeah, well, thanks. Me too. I hope I survive. Yeah, coming up with the idea is the hardest part of the whole journey, but yeah, I'll try to do it. And thanks a lot for having me on the podcast.
Awesome. So yeah, I will hopefully see you next year if you're coming to CES.
Yeah,
if not,
yeah.
hope to see you again someday. And
Sure.
yeah, have a nice day.
Yeah, maybe you can go to Open Source, in California.
I don't know.
Do you know Open Source?
You know what? We're gonna talk about that after the podcast. We're gonna talk
Sure,
about that.
I'll see you there perhaps.
Awesome. Perhaps.
Yeah.
Thank you again for watching, you guys. It's been almost a year since I've uploaded a podcast, and I'm very happy I'm doing it with an amazing and kind person like Mehdi. So yeah, hope to see you in the next video, and yeah, bye-bye.
Take care. Have fun.